Hey everyone, happy Saturday. I know it's been a minute. Just been a lot of stuff going on between storms and work and just needing a little break. In fact, that I will probably now be doing live streams every 2 weeks instead of every week. So that gives me more time to prep and figure out what I want to make and give you more, how do you say, fancy items and stuff like that and think more about it, do different things, give us a little different menu and not having to worry about repeating protein so much, where we're doing a lot of pork or we're doing a lot of beef or a lot of seafood. It can kind of spread itself out. But in between those times, I will be putting pictures up on Facebook. So if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, especially Instagram, because Instagram is connected to my YouTube, which basically the same name, just in time for cooking. So if you know anybody that wants to learn anything or to see stuff or just like looking at food, you're a foodie and you just want to see how things look, that's the way to do it. In the future, I am still working on the Facebook page. I want to get that going soon. I just haven't had the time, but I will be making more time for my cooking and putting more stuff online. Today we are doing it was actually something that I grew up on, and that was beef stroganoff. But when I was growing up with it, it was more of the hamburger helper version. Never had it from scratch. Actually, I've never done this recipe. This is a recipe from a very special person to a lot of people, and we go. She goes by the name of Big Mama, so she knows who she is. Thank you for the recipe and also the recipe for the salad. So I'm actually gonna be following her recipe. So if you're gonna see me kind of looking out of view, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to make sure that I'm doing everything right. There are gonna be some subtle differences. Um, the recipe calls for sliced sirloin. I am using sirloin, actually a very good cut, center sirloin prime, and I've actually made it into ground beef because that's what I was raised on. I always had hamburger helper, beef stroganoff with ground beef. It was just that you had beef going in each bite of the food. And another thing is that you can actually do this with either rice or pasta. I am going to do it with pasta, and I'm going to be making homemade pasta, which so this makes it a little bit more fancy, a little bit more just straight up homemade. And of course, plating is going to be a little bit more fancy. One thing I was actually missing was my store didn't have smaller bundles of parsley, fresh parsley, and I didn't want this big old glob of parsley. So what I did actually is that once I finish it, because normally you want to put a little sprinkle a little parsley on it, I've made it actually parsley oil. So it's going to be a little fancy, a little bit. So hopefully I do it justice. Um, sorry. Hopefully I do it justice, and you'll see more with the oil. I don't think I had it in view. I was getting the little hand signals telling me to get it together. Uh, yeah, she's becoming more of a producer and director than just somebody eating. So she's working for her food today. So, anyways, today's shirt, I try to every now and then do a shirt, and this is actually anybody that knows me. I love Bob's Burgers. My wife does too, and this is a perfect shirt. And what'd you say? Oh yeah, she actually has the coochie coochie. So that's if you see my pictures and stuff, you'll see a little bit of Bob's Burgers. But this one was one of my favorite like quotes from the show. It says, "I love you, but you're all terrible." It works really good. So, anyways, that's today's nerd shirt. Like, if you haven't followed me before, I try to wear something that's usually it could be Deadpool, it could be Batman, Rick and Morty, things like that. So, there's a little nerd flair to my live streams. But anyways, we're gonna go ahead and get to cooking. But what I'm gonna do first is that I want the dressing to be kind of doing this thing, like all the flavors infusing together because there's a lot of flavors. And there's something that I'm working with today that I've never worked with, but it is actually part of the recipe. And that is, if you were looking at my picture that I've been putting up, is onion juice. I have never used this stuff, and it does smell like onion. So onion does give a lot of good flavor to a lot of foods, just like garlic. But I'm really curious about how this is going to work. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and put ourselves here on the counter. You're going to see that I actually have my pasta or my pastry mat down. This is an awesome piece of kitchenware that I love. And I'm about to go ahead and put it down here. So you're going to get full view of what I'm doing. It is a silicone mat, and it works really well. I could use my counter, but I really don't like using it too much. I want to make sure that it stays in condition. So I put this in. It's rubberized, it sticks, so it doesn't move. So I can do the pasta, but that's going to be coming up next. But right now, we're going to go ahead and do the dressing. So we're going to have olive oil, of course, extra virgin. This is the stuff that, I was taught that this is what you want to make your dressings with. You don't want to use this for cooking too much. You want to use this for your dressings and things like that. So extra virgin olive oil, some olive juice. There's going to be a few changes. You can use this, or you can use distilled vinegar. I like apple cider vinegar, so we're going to use that. Okay, I'm going to really jack this word up, but Worcestershire sauce. Forgive me, there's certain words I can't say, and that is one, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's usually used in good in barbecue sauces or other types of sauces, but it's going to be in this dressing. So we have that. Another little thing, instead of using the distilled vinegar, we actually have a oil and vinegar place here that's really nice. It's over in kind of like an uppity part of Houston that we go to sometimes. And this is elderflower apple lime vinegar. So we're going to have a little bit of that in there. And also dry mustard, ground mustard. A little bit of pink salt, pink Himalayan salt. And then for little extras, cranberries. These are awesome, by the way, right here. Praline pecans. And another item, which the person told me I needed to use this one apple, but I was not able to find them. So I'm using miniature jazz apples. They're really good, not gritty. And right now they're so shiny is because I actually sprayed an Honest, it's called Honest vegetable and fruit cleaner to get any pesticides, if there's anything, which more likely we don't try to do that, but I don't really trust anything. So it'll take off all that dirt. But right now I got to wash them real quick, so I'm going to do that real quick. We're going to dice these up, and that goes in the salad as well. My greens are in the refrigerator. We're not going to go ahead and add this dressing till the end because I don't want my greens soggy because of the vinegar and all that stuff is going to break down those. It'll taste good, but not so. I want it to be more. People that know me, like I always talk about, I want. I like things plated well. All right, so another thing too is going into it, and that is feta cheese. So this is going to definitely be a flavorful salad, like I stated. And then I'm also getting I want to show you the greens because I got to put the fruit and everything in there anyways. And give you a little backstory on this bowl. And I forgot something, so while that's going on, I can tell you the story. You see this bowl right here? I'm going to sit it right here. A long time ago, my wife did. She took a pottery class, and she was kind of worried about a lot of stuff. That she just did it because she wanted to do something different. But I actually started liking a lot of the items. So I thought it brought a little twist to everything. So I actually started putting things in it, showing them out. So probably this has got to be over 15 years ago. Yes. And I still have this bowl. So it's at the bottom. She does it. So today is going to be our salad bowl. As you can see, we have a nice mix of good green spinach, radicchio, and some other greens. It's like a spring mix with spinach. So nice color right there. And if you want to also know, I have a cereal bowl that I eat, but you can see a lot more stuff over there. But you see that honeycomb over there? She did that as well. So I use that as our utensil pot. A little honey pot. It reminds me of Winnie the Pooh. All right, so let me get this recipe to the side. All right, also what's gonna go in here, so it's gonna be like a sweet. So we're gonna have a mixture of sweet and tangy, and it's gonna mix together well. I love homemade dressings. That's why I asked for this. I asked for something concerning this recipe. So this one has got a lot of different flavors, which is gonna be great. And I am gonna cheat electric whisk. This is my immersion blender, but I have an attachment for the whisk. So let's start getting everything together. We're gonna put 2/3 cup of sugar. Can you get mine? And if y'all want to ask questions, the chat room is open. Do what you do. I know a lot of people don't look at this stuff until after the live stream, which is perfectly fine. In fact, I like the views afterwards anyways, because people can stop, rewind, look whatever they need to do, especially if they want to follow along. Oh, this is 1/3. I'm sorry.
You said 2/3, right?
Yeah, this is 1/3.
You just did.
Let me give me the measuring cup over there, please. My bad. I'm very OCD, so just bear with me. So we're gonna put 2/3 cups of sugar. Take a little bit of that. All right. So we got the sugar. 1 tablespoon of dry mustard. 1 teaspoon of dry mustard, my bad. Like I said, I'm following the recipe. Normally I have this stuff in my head, but every now and then I want to take somebody else's recipe and do it. So just to have something different and see how. And then also some of the stuff is either Southern or something like that, and I try to put my take on it to make it a little bit more fancy. Not saying that it's not fancy, but I do a lot of things with food that you normally wouldn't call fancy, that I make it fancy, if that makes sense.
You never keep a recipe the same.
No.
You always change it somehow.
Yeah, I do.
It's like mom.
Yeah, my mother-in-law is really, I would say she's more of a mad scientist than I am, though. She will definitely do some stuff. So that's your dry mustard. And that was 1 teaspoon. All right, 1 teaspoon of salt, which we use pink Himalayan always. It actually has some good health benefits, and to me, it's got a stronger flavor, so you don't need as much of it. So we got that. Okay, 2/3 cup of distilled vinegar. So we're gonna probably, this is one thing that I won't probably use a lot of. So we're gonna just do. I'm gonna see what 1/3 cup does. No. This is going to use about the whole thing. So I'm not going to do as much as 2/3 cup. I'm going to put more of the apple cider vinegar. So this was the elderflower apple lime vinegar.
We love elderberry.
Yes, elderberry is good. The lime is going to give it a nice little hit as well, which I love. All right. Ooh, it's got a nice smell too. I wish y'all can smell it. All right, so dry this up for the next thing. We're gonna do 3 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. I might put 4 of those, since to kind of cover the missing elderflower. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then the extra one. Bam. Rinse that off because I'm telling you to do again. I'm doing keeping my sink full, so I got soapy water in there just to do a quick rinse of everything, because y'all know how I am with washing hands and washing things. It's hard to keep things clean, but I try my best. All right, so the onion juice. This is a 1/2 teaspoon, so this stuff must be strong. It's got to be strong. So we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of this. No, I'm sorry, 4 1/2 teaspoons. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. Something must not be that strong. So we're doing 4.5 of this, which is interesting because basically sometimes people do put shallots and onions and garlic in their dressing. So I think maybe this is more of it's a better flavor, and you don't have to worry about all that, the pulp from the onion. So maybe it works. So like I said, I'm learning just as much as y'all are on this one. But if this turns out, this might be a staple in the house, or I might switch some things out, maybe put some orange juice and do a few different things. All right, so we need 4 of these. That's 1, 2, 3, 4.5. Bam.
Not the color of lemon juice.
Yeah, it's got really. It's definitely not clear. It's cloudy, but it does look like lemon juice. If lemon was to be juiced.
You mean onion?
I'm sorry. Onion was to be juiced. All right, and actually, this stuff doesn't have to go in the refrigerator, which is nice. All right, 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. Sorry, just make fun of me. I can't say that word. Worcestershire sauce, something like that. Okay. Everybody quiet tonight. Usually I have a little talking going on. It's all good though. Y'all just intrigued about what's going on here. All right, so we have 2 tablespoons of this, which would be nice. It gives it probably gonna give a nice, good color. Oh yeah. All right. So I got that in there. And we're gonna do olive oil. I'm actually gonna do a mixture of extra virgin and then regular olive oil. But we're gonna blend that in very slowly. So I'm using the rest of my olive oil here.
Mom says the onion juice doesn't smell like onion.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. I cannot do onions at all. I mean, I love onions, but I cannot cut them. I have a problem with it. That's why I use more garlic and shallots. I mean, I can do it, but it's Niagara Falls over here, crying and everything. I know there's little tricks to the trade, but for some reason, nothing works for me. So I usually get my stuff pre-cut. Sorry, another little sheet there. I'll cut up everything else except for onions. But when they're cooked or sauteed, fried, they are amazing. This is a lot of ingredients, so I'm thinking this would be a nice dressing just to hold up and put in your refrigerator for later. We got plenty of salad, so I know that's what I'm gonna do. So let's get this finished here. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix this stuff first. I love this thing here. I'm gonna use the low heat. Hopefully everybody can see you pretty good. Ooh, you can smell it. Trying to get that sugar disintegrated. As you can see, the color has changed pretty good. Let me go ahead and put this down a little bit more. Hopefully that's better for y'all.
Yeah.
I'm using this because I want to get this sugar melted in. Let me get my trusty spoon. spatula. Keep that going, give it a nice. The smell is amazing. You can smell the vinegar and everything.
Smells sweet.
Yep, it's the sugar. To be honest with you, in the future, I'll probably change out to honey or something, because we do tend to do a little bit more healthier when it comes to our dressings, or use something, but the sugar is going to be really good in this. And then with everything else, it's going to be a nice flavor. All right, so I'm actually going to go to this because when I'm doing the oil, I don't want it to like I guess that would be emulsify, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. So this is actually really nice. We got this at Sur La Table or Sur La Table, where it was called. And all you gotta do is go back and forth. So what I'm gonna do now is add the oil. Just do it slowly.
Yeah, that's good.
Keep on stirring it in. Mixing together very well. That's why when you get stuff like salad dressings from the grocery store, especially some of the better kinds, you'll see a lot of separation. It's the oil and the vinegar, things like that. This is not a cream base, so it won't stick together as much, but that's fine. Take a good shake on the bottle, call it a day. Almost done here. All right. That's a lot of dressing, so that's good. I like this. So, and it actually looks almost like it's, I know it's the oil, but it definitely feels like it's thickened up a little bit. I don't know if that's maybe the mustard or even a sugar having something with it, but that means it's going to be a good coat. Oh yeah. Well, there's definitely a lot of ingredients. I actually want to put a little bit more. I'm gonna put a little bit more of this vinegar. I'm going to get some more of this. Stuff is amazing. They do some really good stuff. We might have to get the bigger bottles next time. All right. Normally I don't do this, but I want to try this. I can't wait. Ooh, it's nice. Look at that. That is a nice. That's going to cover the salad well. Oh.
I love that face.
Sweet, tangy. Woo! That's good. All right. I'm going to let the wife taste it and see what she likes. Ooh. Thank you, Big Mama. I did a few things. You can taste the onion, but it's not strong.
It's really good, actually.
Yes. Not strong at all. Everything mixes together very well. And it's almost close to balsamic without the balsamic vinegar.
Mother says it looks as though it has gotten thicker.
That's what I like about it. So that's going to be definitely a keeper. Thank you much. All right. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm not going to put the dressing on there because I don't want things to look all funky. So what I am going to do is I'm going to actually prep the salad, and this stuff is going to go in the refrigerator until the end. And then when I go ahead and plate the salad, she'll have everything. But I'm going to actually get the apple together. Let me get where's my butcher knife? Oh, my butcher knife in there. I'll use my Nakiri. No, I already told you about this. This is the fruit and vegetable life. Raven cannot touch this one
Don't know why.
because it's too sharp, and I don't want to have to listen to the mother-in-law because I had to take her to the hospital.
Mom agreed with you. I'm not sure why.
Because she knows, and I know that I don't want to hear it. All right, can you pass? Never mind. I don't want to cut into my whatchamacallit. I could cut on here, but I don't want to mess it up. It's such pretty. So.
My mother said she can't taste the dressing.
Soon. We'll have us an additional guest very soon. She knows what's coming up. She has not been liking me, but in a good way, if that makes sense.
Because she can't taste all the food.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is get a few of these up because this is gonna be very flavorful. The apple, the cranberries. I'm not a big cranberry person because I feel they are like raisins, but I'm willing to give them a try because I'm trying to open up my eyes more to different flavors, especially when they're melded together.
Thing about raisins.
Yeah, anything looks like a raisin. I can't stand raisins. Anybody that knows me, I do not love or like or anything with a raisin.
Mom said
They're evil.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
They're evil.
Mother said it's true. Don't let her have that night.
Oh yeah. All right. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to put a little area with the apple. Almost make it look like a Cobb salad, where you have to have everything kind of separated until you get ready to mix it together. So I'm gonna have a nice little area of this apple. This apple here, I was trying to find a certain kind, but I could not get it. So I'm trying Jazz apples. They're miniature apples, and they are really good. No grit whatsoever. It's got a really good flavor. Sweet, kind of sweet, but not overly. So it'll mix well in here with everything. I think I thought I did 3 apples, but it looks like 2 apples is going to be fine. So.
This may have to come to work with you.
I don't know. I might be taking it myself. Actually, you'll have the salad, so you'll have plenty of apple.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because we're going to have salad left over. And the next one, I'll have some guests. I was already told that they would be guests. So I've got people everywhere. All right. So we got that. So that part's done. Wash your hands. Hands are sticky. All right. There you go. All right. Like I said before, Trader Joe's, if you have one, go pick these up right away. They're candied pecans. They are amazing. And I'm not going to tell who it was, but I know somebody, by the time they made it home, the car had eaten the whole thing. And this is a big thing. It was not our car. It was in another car. When that person sees it, they will be like, better not say my name.
There were 3 people in the car.
Yeah, but only 2 were eating them.
Oh, really?
So, to be honest with you, I'm not going to chop these up because these are actually perfect as they are. So I'm going to have this nice little area there of them. This is going to be a really good salad. So we have that. Craisins. All right, I'm going to give one a try.
They're not bad.
That's not bad, actually. They don't taste like raisins. And they don't have that. They just look like them.
Traumatized with raisins.
Yeah. Thanks to Mama. When I was young. Come to find out later on in life that she had a German background, Irish background, and a lot of I guess that would be Western Europe influence or something like that.
I think Eastern.
Whoever I don't know. I know that's bad. I'm more a science person than geology. Sorry, alarm was going off. I'm sorry. Somebody just texted me and knew I was talking about them. About the pecans. So I didn't say no names. Remember that. I was being nice. Don't put yourself out. All right, feta cheese. Okay.
It's not bad in salads. I know you haven't really eaten a lot in salads, but it's not that bad in salads.
No, that's actually pretty good. I don't know. I got mixed up because I always thought feta was kind of similar to blue cheese. Forgive me, I'm learning. But recently, from this place that we've been going to eat, usually once a month on Saturdays, called the Rapport. It's a New Orleans-based type restaurant, and I have not had one bad thing there yet, and it has been amazing. So they do this risotto that has Parmesan and feta mixed together with it, and I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, but it's just the sauce that it makes with heavy cream and everything is so good. So yes, I just learned a little bit about myself today. I actually can do craisins and feta cheese. As you can tell, I don't do a lot for myself. I usually try to cook for other people because I want them to enjoy. I'll usually enjoy afterwards, maybe, and not put everything in it. So my wife is really the biggest, experimenter when it comes to food sometimes, because I'll just tell her, here, try this. Have you tried it yet? No, I just want you to try it. And she tries and says it's good. All right, bam. So we have the mixed greens, which was spinach and like arugula and different types of lettuce and stuff like that, radicchio, feta cheese, the apple, the pecans, the cranberries. So when we get ready to eat, I'm gonna toss all this together. I'm gonna put a nice piece of plastic over it, and then I'm gonna shake it, make it the easy way. And then I'm gonna actually put some of it on the plate, and then I'm gonna put the dressing on it because I don't want to mix all this together because we would have to eat it all. And I think this is something that's worth saving. So I'm gonna go get some plastic real quick.
It's right here.
Oh, sorry. All right. Actually, growing up, we found out that a lot of the foods that we ate, because we lived in Arizona growing up, and a lot of foods we ate, a lot of people didn't know about. Because my dad was from Louisiana, my mom was from Kentucky, and they met in Arizona, and which I spent most of my life. I was born and raised there. But there was a lot of food that I was like, none of my friends eat this stuff. We ate sauerkraut. We ate a certain type of cabbage. The way she did it with a lot of paprika. So it was almost red. And she did that. Of course, things from my dad's native land of Louisiana with the red beans and rice and gumbo and calayas, which was a pastry. A lot of fried foods. Oh, sorry. Wife's telling me I'm teetering on stuff with the phone. Anyways, we learned a lot of things growing up until my sister decided to do the ancestry, and we found out a lot of it is we found out that that's when her background had Irish and German and stuff like that. We found out why we were eating a lot of these foods. Parts of potatoes with onions fried, all kinds of different things from all over the place. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap this up, and I'm gonna put this back in the refrigerator. Next, we're gonna do the pasta to get that ready. Very simple thing there. I like making fresh pasta. It's really good. If I don't, I use a brand called Del Seco for something quick. But for some reason, if I want to do a live cooking show, I just feel like I have to make the pasta. But I need to get more into different things like making orecchiette and different types of smaller pasta, like fusilli and I can't think. I'm having a hard time.
Farley?
Farley. That's the bow tie. Yeah, different things that have a little look to it. I think the bow tie pasta would be nice. Would be fun to make. So that might be put up soon. All right, so we're gonna let this sit.
Salad's really pretty.
Thank you. Oh, phone. Sorry, I have to take a picture of this because this all goes in presentation. So bear with me. Because I like to show everything that I cook. Boom. All right. Get that back. The art of taking off plastic and putting it back on is something I learned a long time ago. All right. Put this back in the refrigerator. All right, taking out the pasta. All right, I'm gonna set that right there. We're gonna get some of this other stuff off. We'll save these for later. Might need to make some more applesauce ice cream. These would be some good apples for that. There, can you put that back in there?
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Let me get. I'm trying to get all this other stuff off before I finish. I can wipe it off. Salad recipe is done. All right, I need to get this dry. Take the salad dressing. That's going in the refrigerator.
Drawer.
All right. Wash my hands, of course. All right, let's wipe off the mat. All right, the pasta process is made before as far as the dough is concerned because it has to sit for at least 30 minutes for everything to meld. And that's fine. That's why I always pre-make it. I did put pictures up of the finished product. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna keep this paper towel because it's good. Take a little bit of what I use is all-purpose flour. It's a all-purpose flour and egg mixture with a little bit of water. So we're just gonna put, this is to stop it from sticking. A little bit more. All right. The pasta right here, pasta dough. Stop. Sorry, my computer wants to update in the middle of the live stream. Bam. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll this out. We get a little bit of flour, put a little bit on the rolling pin. This is a French rolling pin. So we're gonna roll it out to a certain thickness so I can run it through the machine. My pasta machine. Taking half right now. Actually, this dish can be served with white rice, but to me, I grew up on noodles, so Both are acceptable, but for some reason, pasta just works a little much better, especially with this is going to be homemade pasta. It's going to be so good. So as you can see, it's starting to get wider. What I just want to do is be able to get into that width of that machine there. So bam. So we got that right there. Let me get the other one. Any question? Everybody's doing good?
Yeah.
Sometimes I get quiet, so don't think I'm running out of things to say. I'm just concentrating. This is exercise right here.
When you were first trying the machine, you did a lot.
Yes. So I'm getting better at this. All right. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to push this back here a little bit and connect the pasta roller.
Which was a gift.
This is a gift from the ladies from my old church. She knew how much I like to cook and how much I like to get into Italian food. Actually, if it was up to me, the show would probably be nothing but Italian cooking, but I would feel that you would run out of stuff too much. So I kind of just dusted in there a little bit. All right, so that's on. Oops, wrong one. I actually got two functions. I can do just a regular rolling sheets, or I can actually cut the pasta already. But I want mine a little bit thicker, so I'm going to be hand cutting my pasta. So this is going to start off as a long sheet. So let me see. We got this as a, let's put this down as a 3 first. So bam, that quick, it actually got that big. But I'm going to fold it and run it through again. The flour on it won't let it stick together, which I like. But if you need to, you can always take a little bit of flour and dust it just to make sure. And run it through again. Homemade pasta is fast. Once you get to the point where you can make it really quick, I'm getting faster and faster with it. The more you mess with it, the better it is. Fresh pasta cooks in about 2 to 3 minutes. So right now I'm just prepping it up. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and kick it up a step because I want it a little bit thinner. So I'm going from a 3 to a 4. If you have one of these machines, you know what I'm talking about. That's the thickness. All right, so now, see how that little small piece, which was this, is now this. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna fold it because I got the flour. I'm not going to worry about it sticking together. And what I'm gonna do next is trim the edges. Actually, I'm gonna trim these edges too. OCD, remember that. And then we're gonna roll it up like this. So what I want is I want a thicker noodle. So what I'm gonna do is about this big. Let me go ahead and give me the cutting board. I want to make sure I get able to go through each piece. Get a little thicker cut, so I'm gonna get that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as it's close.
You try to get them around the same size.
Yes. This is probably a little bit thicker than fettuccine, going towards pappardelle.
Mom asks, where can you keep homemade pasta after it's made and for how long? Can you keep it?
So I have been experimenting with it, and it's been drying out after a few days, even if I keep it. But you can actually dry it out, and if you can get it dried out, there are drying racks that you can find probably at kitchen stores, especially high-end kitchen stores, and you can dry it out yourself and then package it, and it'll last for a while. In the refrigerator, or actually just in a bag, as long as it's probably vacuum sealed. As everything, I don't want you to take my word for it with everything. The internet is vast and it will tell you a lot. There's so many different ways of doing it, but usually I make pasta right before. I like it really, really fresh, but you can dry it out. And it's still better than cooking it, doing store-bought. So what I want to do here again is kind of toss in a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick. So as you see, fresh pasta. So let me go ahead and do this other one real quick. Since I know where I want it at, I'm gonna go ahead and finish off with this number, which is number 4. It's not much more than number 3 that I was using. All right, I got 6 viewers. I think that's one of the biggest ones I've had in a while. Everybody usually watches this afterwards, which I said is good anyways, because I need the viewers. I wish everybody can join me at the same time, but Saturdays are usually family time and, college sports. So, especially where I live is they're serious about their college sports. Actually, both places that we lived in the last 20 years, they get kind of insane with it, to be honest with you. Where we lived at prior, we were near the Alabama line, so we had Mississippi State and then Bama, and every time you would hear Roll Tide, I think I just wanted to get into a good argument with some of them just to say a certain something and start up something really bad. I'm gonna leave it alone because I could say more, but I know how people are with their football. Hey, one of my best friends, he does the Bama, and I'm always messing with him about it. All right, as you saw, I put more flour on there. I just wanted to make sure that it wouldn't stick together. So we got it the consistency we want. So I'm gonna fold it again. And I actually want to bring it through a couple more times. Little air bubble there. That way I got a perfect sheet, almost perfect sheet. I wanted y'all to see how I did my pasta. I did it in another video, but I really wanted to show y'all again because I'm getting faster and better with it. I just want to start getting into some shapes. Once I get into those shapes, it'll be on Donkey Kong, as they say. One more time. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and from the edges. Just roll it up. No cutting action. Actually, this one's got a little weirdness on the side. Once again, unroll. We like pasta, so this looks like it's about a good 2 or 3 servings. It's gonna be thick, so I might not need as much. It could be more, just depends. We just really like pasta.
I need no other bread, actually.
No, this has definitely got your bread intake on point. I was actually thinking about doing some garlic bread, but there's not needed. Bam, there's all the pasta. Got a whole bunch of it. I can show you close up. Well, I'll be using this wok in the future. I actually test tried it outside on my my high. I don't know. I'm trying to say it's a 100,000 BTU gas burner. So I was able to do some really good cooking with it. So I have some stuff. I'm trying to get things for my iPhone where I can actually do videos outside and do live that way instead of using my computer and external camera and mic, because I've seen that the iPhone does really well with that. Sorry for any Android users, as I'm a Apple head. But anyways, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get the heat up. Be nice if it did the right one. What I'm using is the quick boil, which it actually does well because it has a high flame. So there's a lot of surface area that it'll touch. Plus being a really kind of deeper type pot, instead of kind of like flattening and coming up the sides, I can do a lot more. I can do a little bit more and all this other stuff. It actually works really well. So once again, I'm going to go through my phone because this is a recipe that was given to me once again by Big Mama herself, and it sounds amazing. So
Mom asked if you could use the noodles for chicken and dumplings.
yes, because with the flour and stuff like that, it'll make a quick sauce. Actually, to be honest with you, you can actually make these thicker. We can do maybe a 1 or 2 on the pasta, and just make sheets. But there is a different type of ingredient mixture that you want to do to get more of a kind of like a dumpling or a lasagna. So I'll be exploring that more in the future. But anyways, what we're going to do is that I am going to, since I'm not doing steak strips, I'm actually using ground beef. I'm not going to need to worry about anything. I'm going to cook the hamburger through. This is a different part of it. So it'll have a little bit of fat. I might add a little bit of olive oil to it just to make sure that it is doing really well. And then, of course, olive oil is good for you. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in. I'm going to get my I did it myself, actually. I took a 2-pound sirloin steak, center cut, prime, and used my KitchenAid grinder and did my own hamburger meat. So it's got all the fat in it, good stuff, really, really good. All right, so now we're gonna put that in there, and you're gonna hear a nice little sizzle. All right, washing my hands as I touch the beef. You don't want nobody sick. Hopefully I can hear that really well. Anybody can tell me that they can hear that sizzle? Do I need to do a little bit of ASMR? Let's get the mic close. How's that sound? Might have to start doing some of these videos. All right. Let me turn on the fan. If you have anything that actually grinds beef, like any steaks or anything like that, I actually made one weekend. I took some Wagyu and grounded some butcher style bacon, uh, mesquite smoked bacon, and actually ground them together, and made hamburgers. My sister and brother-in-law were able to get that meal. I didn't. That was one weekend that I just didn't do a video. It was actually the weekend that Hamilton came out on Disney, and we had a nice little just get together there. Okay, good. And as you can see, it's already cooking pretty quickly. Once we finish browning this and everything looks good, what I'm gonna do is, can you give me that bowl right next that's clear to the antler? That one right there, yes. After this meat browns, I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a separate bowl, and then do the other ingredients, and then add the meat back in. While that's browning real quick, I'm gonna get my mushrooms, because that's going in. My mushrooms and onions. Mushrooms, I gotta twist this strainer. Let me get that strainer right there real quick, please. Let me do the green one, the one on top. Yeah. I have to wash my mushrooms. Don't have to dry them because they're gonna. I want them to be kind of wet going into the pan. That way, they'll cook them faster. So, ooh, it's getting a nice little juice. What I liked about that sirloin is that it had enough fat that it was able to give a. I'll have some remnants left in the pan once I go ahead and take the meat out. It's going to be good. I got two hands going. I got one cooking the meat, and then the other washing mushrooms. And the type of mushroom that I'm going to be using is baby bellas. So that's going to give it a, people that don't know about mushrooms or have an issue with mushrooms, portobello mushrooms are almost like a meat type of mushroom. Really, really good. All right.
Make you try mushrooms.
Yeah, I was a little bit hard on mushrooms. I wasn't a big mushroom person. And Raven started getting me more into it. Yeah, bacon wrapped mushrooms. Holy crap. A friend of mine, whose name was Tom, he did these bacon wrapped mushrooms that later Raven started making. And it's almost, you have like maybe a fifth piece of a bacon wrapped around a mushroom. It tastes like a whole piece of pork. And so good. So good. Okay, unlike regular hamburger meat, this is gold right here. This is steak. This is straight up steak. And this is what we're going to use to brown the onions and the mushrooms in. And it had some fat, but it was not a lot. For that whole bunch, that was 2 pounds, and that's all that was left in it. So it was a high concentration of protein to fat. All right, I'm gonna leave those little nuggets in there. Actually, no, let me get those out because I don't want them to be hard. If you can smell what the smell this kitchen has right now. All right, those will be fine. All right, so now on my recipe, We have the, we want to use, I'm going to do a little salt. We can add more at the end. That's 2 pounds. We might save some of the hamburger for later and then put the other. What we're going to do is do 2 tablespoons of butter. And anybody that knows me knows I love this stuff right here. Kerrygold unsalted. It is so good. This is definitely not from the box. Definitely not from the box. All right, 2 tablespoons of butter. Let me turn down the heat a little bit. Because we're basically going, ooh, that smells good. Yeah. All right, so we're going to do that. So we're going to do, I already did a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to do a little bit more. Just a little bit. About a tablespoon. Okay, I'm going to take my mushrooms. Actually, they said thinly sliced. These are going to shrink. So we're going to keep them as is. And then we're going to take, oh, I'm sorry, I had the hamburger. I'm sorry, anybody speak up there? My bad. Y'all messing everything up. So that's the mushrooms, butter, olive oil, and the remnants of the beef. So we're now sauteing these. All right. So we're gonna let that, and then I'm gonna need the onion and I'm gonna garlic. Okay, garlic, another cheat. Sorry, but this stuff is amazing. It's like having actual garlic at your hand. It's the frozen garlic cubes. 1 cube equals 1 garlic clove. And it's already minced for you. All you gotta do is pop it out. Bam, done. None of that stinky garlic fingers. If you have a problem with that. So we're gonna turn this back up a little bit. And now is the onion, and the onion, I need a 1/2 cup of onion. I think this is about a cup. This is 1.5 cups. So we're gonna take about 1/3 of this. Like I said before, I do not do onions. So as far as cutting them. Crap. Please. All right, while this is sauteing here, is it the butter, the olive oil, the juices from the sirloin, the water from the onions, and the mushrooms. So I was doing that left hand. I can do it better right hand, but I'm stirring with the right hand. So right now, let's let that continue to simmer. What we're going to do next after that is we're going to add about a 1.5 cups of beef broth. I use a organic beef broth from Pacific. Really good stuff. I'm not advertising. I'm just showing you what I use. All right, let me get my measuring cup and wash my hands at the same time. Almost dropped. Trying to mess up over here, people. slipped out of my hand. Glad it slipped into the water. All right, that is looking really good right now, actually. Making sure all those little onion bits. So good. So we're gonna do a 1 1/4 cup. You can actually mix this up. I was given a tip the other day that you can sometimes do half and half. You can do a half of mushroom broth and chicken and beef broth. I'm sorry. We'll do the both. So what we're gonna do is slowly stir and pour. And actually, as it starts cooking more and more, these mushrooms are going to get tender, and you can actually cut them in half. So there you go. Now we got us a little bit of a mushroom and onion soup going on right now. This is probably good by itself, to be honest with you. Add a little bit of flour and get it thickened up, which we're going to do anyways for the sauce. Let that simmer. We're going to put up a little bit more. Okay, what's going to happen with this now is I'm going to add a tablespoon of tomato paste. And this is really one of the coolest things that you can actually do is the tube. It's actually very handy. It stays in your refrigerator forever. And as this is was made in Italy. I love this stuff. Just a teaspoon of this works out really well. Tablespoon, I'm sorry. No, they're here. They are right here. All right, so we're doing a. Nice, healthy. There we go. Bam. All right, while that's going to be doing this thing, that's going to give it a more, to me, that signature ground color for stroganoff, this tomato paste. You see how it just melted into that? All right, let that continue doing its thing. While that is doing this thing, I am going to get another pot. And we're going to get some water boiling. All right, 2 things at once again. Man, I wish I could smell this. The onions and everything. The mushrooms. Almost enough. All right. Thank you. All right, so we're going to set the pot of boiling water and get that up to a boil. Actually, I'm gonna do the power burner. That way we can get a nice quick. Bring it up. I'm gonna actually salt the water with some salt. That way the pasta will have its little salt content. All right. When that comes up to full boil, then we'll go ahead and put the pasta in there for 2 to 3 minutes. and go from there. Oh, you can smell. This would be, well, if it wasn't for the beef, a good vegetarian. Try to use a vegetable stock instead of a actual beef stock.
Mother said be careful with that skillet.
Oh yeah, not a problem. Very careful. I think it's part of the OCD place. This one's running a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but you get a chance to see multiple things done. The streams usually last about an hour. And we can watch all day long watching Food Network. I know this is not too bad. Especially when you're seeing it without being edited. Because if I mess up, I mess up. As you see, the mushrooms are shrinking. They are shrinking. Look at that. It looks good, doesn't it? Let's keep that going. One of the last things we're going to put in there is the sour cream. That's what gives it the cream thing. We don't want to boil that. All we're going to do is add it to basically thicken it a little bit more. I'm actually going to put a little bit of flour into this. Where's my... All right. Flour's going in. This is more of a thickening agent. I kind of use a cornstarch slurry for mine, but flour works too, especially when you're making like things like roux and things for gumbo. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. That's the color that we're looking for. Nice brownish burgundy color. If you don't want your mushrooms that big, you can actually go ahead and kind of dice them or really thinly slice them. But we do like mushrooms here, so this is definitely going to be a nice little presentation. All right, so what I'm going to do now, water's almost getting boiled here. So let that do its thing. Let this cook a little longer because I want to make sure that everything is tender. And I'm going to start adding a little bit of the beef back to it. Which if I have 2 pounds here, should be about a half of it, should be about a pound. Oh, and it's, oh, look at this. The juice, the broth, the fat. We're going to take some of that along with it. All right, let's see how this looks. Like I said, most of the time this is made with strip steak, but I was raised on the ground beef aspect of it. Ooh, look at that. Almost like a beef mushroom stew. All right, let me get some. Switching up the spoon a little bit. I was getting stuff all over the place, messing with my OCD. Trying to get those sides because everything is hot on the sides, which I love. There we go. Add a little bit more. Ooh, this would be good for sloppy joes, the remainder of this.
Oh, you mean extra beef?
Yeah. I have a really good sloppy joe recipe from Homemade that everybody that I know that's tried it loves it. Yeah, this stroganoff here, you're gonna have a mouthful of mushrooms and beef and everything, sauce. So this is gonna be good. I'm gonna add a little bit more because I actually put a little bit more beef than the recipe requires. So I'm gonna put a little bit more beef broth in there. So let's turn back up, get it back up to a boil real quick because I want everything to be nice and hot. All right, a few more minutes on the water, and then I'll be able to throw the pasta in, and we'll get ready to start plating. Uh, all right, I was wanting to clean up a little bit behind me. All right. See the consistency of it? Nice. So you got your onions, your mushrooms, your garlic, olive oil, everything in there. So the last step that we're going to be doing is the sour cream, which we're going to put in 1 cup of sour cream. And then we don't have to let it boil. We just let it sit, because if you know what happens to dairy when you try to boil it, it's not a good thing. But I want to go ahead and get these mushrooms infused with this beef. All right, let me get my sour cream and get a cup of it already ready to go. Never mind, I have something right here. All right, let's go ahead and pour out a cup of sour cream. A little bit more. Actually, another thing that I liked at an older age was sour cream, because I hated it when I was younger. I always thought that it was a gross thing until I had it on my first potato.
Really?
I never always, no. Sour cream was something that I never did when I was younger.
Keep it in the house now.
Yep, sour cream goes in all the potatoes. And also Mexican food. I make a barbecue sour cream sauce, which is really good for my redneck nachos and for regular nachos and my carne asada. All right, so now let's go ahead and put the sour cream. Let me get me my spoon. Let's turn down this first. I'm gonna turn it down to lower. I'll switch spoons out. And there's the sour cream. So we're gonna start incorporating that with it. That's gonna give it more lighter color and more creamy texture. Actually, I might put a little bit more in there because I forgot I put a little bit more meat in there.
It looks good. It smells wonderful.
Get this all incorporated. Just keep on mixing it. So you can see like the remnants of the tomato paste and the broth from the chicken broth, and the sour cream all melding together. Yeah, I'm gonna put a little bit more in.
It smells wonderful.
I'm over here brewing. She'll get your sign in the second one. Yeah, 'cause you gotta wait for the picture as well. There we go. Yeah, this is a long one today. Time flies when you're having fun. All right. There you go. That is the sauce. So the noodles will be set very soon. I'm gonna let that sit. All right, there's something I want to do here. Oh, I didn't knock out. Alrighty. Just trying to make sure everything is incorporated really well. Didn't leave any like little lumps of sour cream or anything like that. But as you can see, the mushrooms now, that white that we had is now taking on the color of the beef, and you got the cream, all that good stuff. And as it sits, it should thicken up pretty well. Alrighty. I think we're in the thing. Like I said, little subtle changes to this recipe, but nonetheless, it's always the way. Because anybody that takes a recipe, you always try to change it up. All right, so I am turning this off, and I'm just waiting for the. Actually, let's do this. That way you can actually see this in good motion here. And now what I'm gonna do is take over the water to over here, and bam. That way y'all can see the pasta being done.
You need to re-enter.
Yeah, hold on a second here. Almost let that boil. Washing my hands. All right, hands clean again. Oh yeah, already thickening up. That's what we want. See, what I'm gonna do is when I get the pasta and get it a little bit with the water off, I'm gonna toss it in this real quick, and then put it on the plate, and then put the sauce on top, and then I have my parsley olive oil drizzle. Water is almost boiled. Let's check the pasta. See, hopefully it's not too. Yeah. Perfect. Basically, you would have shorter noodles, but I want to kind of plate this better than normal, kind of make it more fancy, if that makes sense. Because I like doing fancy plating. So it's gonna be some nice long noodles. Just making sure everything's separated, and it is. There we go. Getting that fast boil. The only thing that's gonna suck is it's gonna show this. We'll get a wooden spoon. There we go. That stops from flowing over. All right, 2 to 3 minutes. Love fresh pasta. Actually, I'm gonna probably just throw this. I'm gonna take it right out from the pot and actually throw it into this mixture, almost like doing Italian food here. You can already see it puffing up already. And the good thing about it is that I don't think you're supposed to really do this, but I'm gonna put a little bit of the pasta water into it, just like I would do Italian food, and it happens to help out with the food sticking to the pasta more. Oh, 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes for the pasta. Very short time for fresh. So about another couple minutes. That's it. It's been in there about a minute now. I'm gonna make sure though, because I did do a lot of pasta, so. How we doing over here? Is it good? Yeah. You're talking to my food. Love cream-based sauces, but I've never made a homemade stroganoff. Raven has done a homemade with a few little extras, little helpies out, but it's a really good recipe for chicken stroganoff that I'll actually not even put on rice, that I'll make a sandwich out in a quick second. All right, almost done here. Don't want to mess up your noodles, so let's. Oh yeah, I can already feel it. Hot. Oh. Thick noodles, awesome. See how am I doing that? Just putting it straight from the pot into the sauce. Yeah, I think I need enough. Shantae, my sister, yeah, you could have made it over here and got some of this. Woo! All right. Bunk this for right now. We're going to go ahead and toss this. Let's go ahead. Coat it in all that sauce, the mushrooms, the hamburger. Well, not hamburger, the ground sirloin. Oh my God. Now that, hey, if you're looking at me still, sis, doesn't that look like almost homemade from back in the day? Well, not homemade, but better than the hamburger helper back in the day. Oh, that looks good. Okay. I'm glad I got a sturdy pot. All right, I'm gonna let y'all look at that in a second. I'm gonna get my plate together so Raven can eat and not start fussing.
I'm gonna fuss. I'm gonna start to whine a little.
All right, let's. I love cooking, but sometimes I hate the dishes. All right, let's clean off my. Where's the rag at?
You put it over there.
Oh, there it is. All right, so y'all, I'm gonna get everything together. She's gonna get her plate, take a look, give her impressions, and let y'all know how everything is. As everything, I like having my hold on, let me get here. All right, so we're gonna switch everything back over here to the place where I was making the pasta at. Hopefully everybody can see that well. Let me go ahead and take this out of the way. Give it to Raven so she can go ahead and you can put it over there because I got to clean it. All right, so we're doing the red plate. I love different color plates for presentation. I like the way it looks, but I need a bowl or something. You can give me or a small white plate. Give me that white bowl right there, a little small one right there. Yeah. No, that's not gonna work. All right, so let me get the salad. I'm gonna let this sauce still stick to this pasta real quick. All right, like I said, easier tossed. All right. My hands are clean.
Mama says it does look like the hamburger helper from way back in that day.
We're gonna do one of those restaurant style salads. Give you a nice big. Oh, look at that. You got your apple, your pecans, your craisins. All right. All right, I'm gonna whisk it up. Oh yeah, this is gonna be an awesome dressing. Look how thick that has gotten. It'd be nice to toss with it, but I wanted that crispness of the salad. So I'm gonna put a couple of tablespoons worth of the dressing on there. There you go. You can take this back. There. All right, that's done. All right, so now I am going to get the pasta. So give me 1 second. Give me the grand entrance. Oh yeah, got plenty of food for. All right, so I'll take that, and I'm gonna take a little bit of the sauce.
How much are you doing?
Say what?
You're trying to really feed me.
You know you like it. Okay, as always, a little bit of plate cleanup because I have to take a picture. Ooh, it smells good. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of since I didn't have parsley, or the store didn't have parsley, I made like I said, a mixture of parsley and olive oil with some salt and black pepper. Wow, let me switch this around here. What we're gonna do is drizzle. and also around the plate. All right. Picture time. But first, homemade beef stroganoff and a very flavorful salad with a nice vinaigrette. All right, taking pictures. Sorry, got to do this. Sorry.
This is why I wait so long.
She waits. She knows there's a thing that you have to do with it. All right. To the wife it goes. And
Oh, it smells wonderful.
I'm gonna give you a butter knife because those noodles are awesomely thick, which is great.
It smells wonderful.
All right, she's gonna give you her. Dude, this is almost an hour and 45-minute long stream. Sorry for the length, but this was definitely from scratch, everything. And I did prepping before this, so it would have been a lot longer. I could have made a cake in this time.
Get some of that noodle.
Yeah, the noodle is.
Noodle's good.
You can make them thick. I mean, thinner if you want. I do like a thicker noodle. In fact, that was not even close to giving her what I had in the pot. So, like I said, you can cut the noodle and eat little bites to it if you want. It's more of a presentation thing, but some people would probably enjoy the thicker noodles, long ones. I've seen to the point where say what?
Definitely trying to feed me.
Yeah, this is definitely not a light meal.
It's really good. It's really good.
All right, thanks, Big Mama. You got a dinner.
Creamy. It has that, big beef flavor though, and the mushrooms are wonderful.
All right, what about the salad?
Let me try the salad.
I'll get some of that mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
What about do you taste the parsley oil?
I do.
Okay.
It works really well, actually. Maybe you came up with a new thing.
Yeah, maybe so. A little bit of everything in there. Make sure you got it.
Grab a craisin. That salad dressing is it's almost a perfect balance of that sweet and the tart, and the feta with it is wonderful.
Awesome.
That's that sweet salty together.
I like anybody, like you said, the people that have been following me, I do like a natural balance. We didn't want to do a cream-based dressing because of the cream-based sauce. You don't want to overdo it with dairy or any type of things like that. So the difference between the two breaks the cream with the acidity. All right, well, we're gonna let her finish eating. Sorry that this went a little bit long today. I wasn't planning on it, but it was actually a fun meal to make. The pasta made it a little bit longer and the salad. But I did prior do some prepping, so it would have been a lot longer than that. But in the future, I have a lot more planning. I can do a lot more prepping and get these down a little bit shorter. Also with some other things that I have in plans, especially when we go outside, because there'll be a lot faster meals, being with the burner, doing the wok cooking, and doing the pizza oven. The weather is finally really nice. We not having to worry about a hurricane, knock on wood. We had a lot of rain last one, but it worked out, so we did well. But anywho, I'm glad anybody that actually stayed. You lasted almost an hour and 45 minutes. I appreciate it. If y'all have any questions afterwards, people that know me, they can call me, or they can ask them on the video when it's uploaded or whatever. So I appreciate y'all taking the time to watch, and I will see y'all in 2 weeks with another good recipe with a little bit of fanciness to it. See y'all in 2 weeks. Thanks. Oh, also, tell your friends, let them know, just in time for cooking. Instagram, same name. Facebook page coming soon. And anything else. Thanks. Y'all have a good night. All right. So y'all still listening to me, but I got to end it. And we're done.